Hello everyone. Can you guys just confirm to me whether am I audible or not? Awesome. Great. So let's just wait for a few minutes. Let's see how many people are joining us today. And we'll be starting off in next 4 to 5 minutes. So kindly wait and then we can start. Hello everyone. Good evening. How are you guys? So before we start the session, can you guys tell me where are you from? Like which part of India are you from? And are you just students, professionals, working professionals, or what are you doing currently? Hey, hi Devendra. Hi Santosh. Awesome. So we have a lot of people from all over India, it seems. No worries, Abhijit. It's good to see you here, and with right effort and proper guidance, you'll be well placed. So this session was supposed to be taken by Vishal, and what am I doing here? So my name is Utkarsh. I'm currently the co-founder and CEO of Floxus, and Vishal will be joining us shortly. So I just came in to have a chat and let you guys know what are we actually doing at Floxus, and how are we trying to create an impact which will help every one of you, right? So I think people are joining in. This is the first session that we are organizing in a lot of days. Like as you can see from the title, 30 days, 30 events. Like this is one of a very difficult thing that we have taken up as a challenge. And this is the event that this is some a very major event which we are planning. And through this, we are actually trying to help people build their portfolio, build something that will actually help them get placed, move ahead in their careers. And what? Yes, just a second. Yeah. So I'll just show you what we are doing at Process right now. So this is a website, www.floxus.co. I think most of you must have joined us through our website only, and may or may not have may or may not have gone through our website. So what we are doing here is that we are trying to help people learn and build their mindset. And how we are going to do that? Very simple, our 3P approach. The first is a project-based learning. Second is building a product mindset in all our learners. And whatever we teach it through a very practical, we teach it such that it gives you a very practical learning experience. So yes, and there's something new which we are coming up with, and that is something which we have experimented in near future and have got a very good results, and that is called experiential learning. In coming few days, you'll be seeing us come up with courses that is completely focused on experiential learning. And the main criteria of experiential learning is that you have to learn by doing. So that will be our key motto, and we feel that that is where most of many current platforms lack in, and that is where we come into play. And these are few of our students who have taken up our courses and have learned through us, and you can see they are pretty well placed and doing very good in their careers. So so our courses, events, and our courses, events, everything that we do? No, we have built a new platform, and that is focused on building your portfolio, and that platform is called Unbound. So Unbound is a way that actually helps you become a better developer, right? So there are many multiple projects which you can see that is hosted here. You can view details, start the project, and submit it, right? And the main attraction of Unbound is challenges. So what we do here is that for web developer who has some basic knowledge, they can visit a platform and get a UI and try to clone it. So it takes some time to log in and to see. So yes, so like see if you can if you just check this UI, you can actually check this out and build it completely with yourself, right? So this comes a bit after what we do, right? After this session. So today's session is actually very focused on Git and GitHub, and I think Vishal has also joined us. Right. So, hey, hi Vishal, how are you?
Hey, hello. Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
Just let me know.
Awesome.
Hey,
Hi.
hey, hello everyone.
So, hi. So, yes. So Vishal is actually currently working as a software engineer at Fastenal. He has a very vast experience. I have known Vishal from last 4 to 5 years, and he has been constantly working in different fields like GitHub, AWS, and even system design. He has a lot of interest in system design and has a good understanding of it as well. In our coming sessions, you if you in our coming sessions you will be seeing Vishal a lot. He has a lot of things planned for you guys, and this will be the first session that he will be taking. So I think most of you have joined as well. So Vishal, over to you, and you can take it forward from.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for the introduction. For me, let me introduce myself a little bit. Um, like First of all, thanks Floxus for hosting me. This has been a grateful experience hosting my first live event. So I'm pretty much happy, excited. I have planned a little bit advance, like a week or so. So we have been here finally after so much of postponed dates. So thank you, Floxus, and thank you, Utkarsh. So okay, so pretty much apart from this, on my introduction, I'm Vishal. I'm currently as a software developer one in Fastnell. So I joined as a 6 months intern and then converted to FT. So currently my team is data integration. So basically in that domain, what the core thing is, we work on a platform called Kafka. If you have recently seen or anyone, okay, sorry if the network interrupted. Yeah, so we work on a platform called Kafka. It's an open source tool, so widely used by all live streaming companies. Sorry, all companies which use live streaming, be it Hotstar, be it all the stockbroking platforms. So we use it internally for our databases. So just in case if my network breaks or something happens, just let me know in the chat. I have it opened here. So in any case, okay. Mhm. So yeah, so it has been about a year working there. So quite a bit of experience about all the things about my team, especially, and bringing all that experience live to you. And apart from my college experience, what I have been using it in my company and sharing my experiences with you, I'm delighted. So with that, let's begin. Uh, I have prepared a little short presentations. Mm, 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 uh, Okay, okay. So here it is. Firstly, thanks Floxus, and this all event is being brought up by Floxus. So all the credits, all the things goes to them. Secondly, I'll be okay. So before that, this session is on Git and GitHub. Okay, as you know, this particular session of 1 hour will be divided, I guess, into 3 parts. Okay, so first part is much of a discussion about how to go into what is the actual thing, Git and GitHub. What concepts will I cover? How things go into detail? How companies use it? So more of a discussion. The second part will be if everything goes well, the second part will be on implementing or using it in live terminal. So I'll be using uh, most importantly, I'll be using my terminal. And if you have any questions in between, please post it on the comments. I'll be definitely seeing it, replying definitely after that session. So after 20 minutes, I'll definitely reply to each and every question. And the third part will be about what next to see. Like this is as I have prepared, this is a session event. So basically this is my 1 by 3, next will be 2 by 3, and the last will be 3 by 3. So what you can expect more, so that will be on the third section. So first, second, and third. If you have any doubt meanwhile, you can definitely post it on chat, or uh, if you have been given access, you can open up your mic and ask me directly at the end of 20 minutes. Okay, so okay, let's start without wasting much time. Before that, if anyone wants to have any doubt or what you are expecting, if I can get a couple of questions. So I cannot see the screen. Okay. Anyways, okay, let's start. So Git and GitHub. Okay, so focusing on Git and GitHub, the most important and the first point which comes to mind is what is Git. So firstly, Git and GitHub are two totally separate things. Okay, Git is a totally different aspect, different tools, different technology. GitHub is totally different. Both are related, but they can totally exist without each other. Okay, so firstly, what is Git? Before that, Git is an open source tool. So Git is a tool, GitHub is a platform. If you want, I have mentioned it somewhere. So yeah, this is that slide. I'll focus more on this. Git is a tool, GitHub is a platform. So GitHub hosts Git. So on the back end of GitHub, there's a tool which is implemented is called Git. So both are totally different terms. We'll be exploring both in advance in these all 3 days. So one by one, definitely giving you all the knowledge I have. Definitely, if you have if you have any questions, do let me know. Okay. Second, Git is one. Okay, so Git as a tool is one, but GitHub as a platform are many. So there is GitHub, which is used mostly by the student community developers. Plus there is a wide demand for GitHub in the even in the open source community, plus software companies owned or in relation with Microsoft. Just in case you know, GitHub is owned by Microsoft. So every other company, or like almost 40 to 50% of company use GitHub as their code collaboration platform. So Git as a tool is open source, but GitHub as a platform is owned by Microsoft, and GitHub is not open source. So GitHub is a company and is not owned, sorry, it's not open source. Okay. Okay. Secondly, what is open source? Coming back to the very key term which I am in love with is open source. So like the best thing about a software or a piece of code is when you are able to see it live in production, right? So whenever I used to see some code written, and like when I used to see some functionality, it doesn't excite me much then when I can see the code written behind it. Okay, suppose there's a link which says click me, and when you click, there's a picture of a dog that pops up. So seeing that works is amazing, but writing that code is what fascinates me the most. That is the difference between open source and not open source. Or not open source means company owned or private. Okay, open source means you can see the code base live in front of you, and that is accessible to everyone. Just for instance, every technology here, you can see Linux, Adobe, uh, GIMP, which is a Linux based software. I guess Adobe is not. Okay, then Docker, Red Hat, React JS, VS Code, Firefox, each and everything here is open source. So you can go and see the real code base of React. You can see the code base of VS Code. VS Code is, I guess, one of the best thing Microsoft has ever given to the developers. So VS Code is the best code writing tool. Firefox is the browser, open source. Linux entire operating system is free and open source. So kind of interesting, if you are a college first year or second year student, you might have observed that nowadays you get Linux laptop for relatively cheaper price, like 5 to 6,000 less than a Windows based laptop for the same variations and same configurations. Why? Because that 5 6,000 is extra goes to the Microsoft subscription price. So that 5 6,000 less is because Linux is free, and if you buy an Ubuntu based laptop or a Linux based laptop, you'll get 5 6,000 less. So that is the reason, with the same configurations, with the same RAM, storage, everything same, Linux laptops are less 5 or 6 or maybe sometimes 10,000, just because it is open source, it's free. Then Python, the entire language, entire programming language is open source. You can go and look into what goes into for loop of a Python. So if you're interested, we can go into the details of each and everything at the end. So just get fascinated and get excited to learn that open source is this. You can literally open the browser, type it, and you can see the code base. You don't need any access, you don't need any licensing, you don't need any approval. You simply log into your browser, open the code base and see. And here comes Git. Git is also open source, completely open source. Okay, so going by the definition, open source, usually a software or a program, gives you access to the complete source code. The access may extend to implementation, design, or sometimes even reconfiguration of the actual code base. So the interesting part about most of the open source programs is you can actually contribute to the things. Like there are many programs, many student-led programs, like you must have heard of GSOC, like Google Summer of Code. So basically that is contributing to the open source softwares. You can contribute to Chrome's web browser, like you must have heard of Selenium. So Selenium was in GSOC and during my time. So Selenium plus so many blockchain entirely is open source. So you can contribute to blockchain drivers, you can contribute to Matrix. So GSOC is a program that is based on open source, so contributing to open source code bases. So here it is reconfiguration of actual code base. So when your code contribution is accepted by the huge open source community, then your written code is run by so many production level machines. Can you imagine if you contribute a code to, let's say, you build an extension to VS Code. So suppose your extension changes the background color of the code base. So if that is adopted, so that will be run on so many machines in live in production. So that is exciting, that is thrilling. Again, it encourages developers, at least me and many, like millions and millions about me, like me. So it encourages developers along with other contributors to freely share technological advancements and recent developments so as to enhance human lifestyle, upgrade product security, and many more. So apart from the fancy things which we hear about open source, one of the best aspect of open source code is, you can actually test its security. So suppose there's a 10-line code base and it is accessible to 10 people. Just for an example, let's talk. So there's a 10-line code base given to a community, or let's say a class of 10 people, and each and everyone can see the code. There's a possibility that each and every 10% can find one loophole in that 10-line program. There's a possibility, definitely. Now just imagine, for that 10 class of 10 people, the same code base is accessible only to 2 people. Rest 8 are just using it without the knowledge of what the code base is. They are just using the program, they are not seeing the code base. So the probability of finding security loopholes or finding flaws or finding security threats in the code base increases. The chance of detection increases, not the threat decreases, and chance of detection of those threats increases when you have access to the actual code base. So if 10 people find that loopholes in that 10-line code base, it will be more easily solved, and then version 2 will come. So better enhanced security, so all the bugs and loopholes will be closed very soon. Then when only 2 people have the access and only 2 people can see the entire code base. So that differs, right? That is a major part and major significance of making a product open source. Why blockchain is open source? Because you can see and look that here the code may fail. In this test case, the code may fail, and you can contribute. Okay, if this is the case, then I can mitigate this issue by adding this use case, by using this parameter. So that is the use of open sourcing a software. Okay, so this was all about open source. This has nothing or very less to do about Git. Git being an open source, there are many softwares which are open source. As I told you, there are many softwares which are open source. Git is just one of them. Okay, so now climbing a little bit towards Git from open source. So just imagine open source is this end, Git is this end. So open source, we talked about open source. Now we are going a little bit towards what is Git. So Git basically is a version control system. So if you're not able to see the screen, This is a version control system. Okay, version control is the management of changes to documents, computer programs, large websites, other collection of information. These changes are usually termed as versions. Okay, apart from the definition, uh, you all must have obviously you all must have phones, smartphones. You see updates, right? Updates in each and every phone. Like you nearly get updates once in a month for all apps. Let's suppose your Google Drive is an is pending an update, so it says that version 2 is coming, version 3.5 is coming, version 3.6 is coming. What is that? That is just a version. So here it is written version. These changes are termed as versions. These are nothing but the updates, so one on the other. So if I can show you, see, here it is written 10/7/2013. It suppose there's a website. Okay, so the suppose Google Drive is a website where you can upload files, download files. Okay, it has just one page, index.html, which is created on 10/7/2013. Now the developer thinks like, let's have another page, so it adds about.html. So this will be version 1, this will be version 2. So it says it is launched in 10/9/2013. Now it has two pages, index.html and about.html. So this was version 1. Now this is version 2. Now the suppose it gets popularized, many people come, so there's so much of thing to be changed. Now the developer thinks like, let's change the page layout and make it more attractive. So earlier it just used upload and download button. Now we'll add a comment button. So in that index and about.html, they add more code. So that is version 3. These all version changes are definitely based on Git. Git is a version control system. So version 1, version 2, version 3. Fine. Now just imagine, now you, after adding upload, download and comment, the one other developer suggested that let's suppose we add a delete option. Let's add a delete option in the page. So they added delete option, but that had let's suppose that had a major change in the community using this Google Drive website. So they said that this feature is not at all reliable, that is not good. So what did they do? So you can see this was version 3. In version 4 they added a delete option. Now the community asked that this, we don't like this feature, just remove this. Now what they'll do is they will move from version 4 to version 3, right? So Git has the feature, if you don't like some changes, you can revert back. Just take the keyword revert. It's a very important term. It's one of the most important terms in GitHub, Git. So you can revert back to version 3. Version 3 having everything well okay with all the community, everyone was happy. Version 4 had an issue with the delete button. So the developers, what they did, they just reverted back from version 4 to version 3, and now everyone is happy. Now they'll work on some other changes, and then they'll again bring version 4, again bring version 5, and then it goes on. So each and every company, at least softwares, definitely, even in hardwares, you can see that you have a firmware update of 2.3.5, 2.3.7. So even in hardwares, but definitely in softwares, everyone likes to keep the version. There are many advantages. Okay. First, and the major advantage is that revert system. If the new changes are not acceptable to you, suppose you are writing one for loop, and if you say if the number is 0, then write I don't know. But if you don't like that use case, you just remove it, and then if version is 0, write I love this number. So you can revert back at any point in time, and not only to the previous version. Just suppose in the 4th version they added the delete feature, but now the community said not only the delete feature is useless, but also the comment feature is useless. So we don't want that. Now what we'll do, from version 4 they'll revert back to version 2, which is this 10/9/2013 index.html and about.html. They'll definitely move back from version 4 directly to version 2, you know escaping version 3 in from at all. Like they don't have anything to do with version 3. So not only to immediate previous or immediate next version, they can move randomly to any version they want. This power is enabled by Git. Now you can see some other parameters like time, your project, VCS. So there's many aspects. This is just one of the use cases. There are many use cases you can think. At least in the software world, there's too much. Like Git is next to irreplaceable in the time coming, like next 100 years. Git is irreplaceable. Okay, so as we discuss Git and GitHub, so just a little bit of knowledge again. Just keep these things separate. I mean, I have met many people who don't even recognize what is Git and what is GitHub. Git is a tool, GitHub is a platform. There are many like GitHub. So as I told you, GitHub is used by most of the community, but in our company and most, like many other companies, we use Bitbucket. So Bitbucket, what is Bitbucket? If I can show you, just a minute. So Bitbucket is just a alternative of GitHub. So Bitbucket is also a code collaboration platform, just similar to GitHub. So we in our company use Bitbucket. Fine. So there are many use cases. There's again, I don't remember exactly, but there's another very popular code collaboration platform. But let it be. So I'm just telling you, GitHub has an alternative of Bitbucket, but Git does not have an alternative. So okay, but again, coming back to the presentation, you may say that Git has a substitute called Mercurial or something or something or something like that, but no, Git still rules the world. Git is used by 90% of developers. 10% is used using Mercurial or something, some other version control system. So version control system has many, but Git is almost in like the leader, market leader. 90% of people use Git in their platform, in their community, in their student journey, in their corporate journey. So that's it about Git and GitHub. Uh, that's it for Git and GitHub. The second session will be mostly about Git commands. Okay. Okay, I have it. A little bit interesting one. So GitHub, as you know, is the platform, just like Facebook is, just like Instagram is a platform. So GitHub is a platform, and I personally call it the Facebook for developers. So it's my code. I may go it wrong, but don't sue me. But this is just called Facebook for developers. We come like in what you do in Facebook. You come, post your comment, post your beautiful pictures, post your videos, and then have people enjoy it. Same as GitHub. You come with your software, you come with your code base, post it on GitHub, and let people enjoy it. Let people find bugs, find improve the code, or maybe add features to your code. Right? Suppose you made a very handsome website. So suppose someone will add a about page, someone will add a contact page. So it not necessarily is you. When you open source it, it has got to do with the entire community. Okay, so why GitHub? If you want to read it, okay, just let it go. GitHub is a web-based service for version control using Git. So as I said, GitHub is a platform and underneath is Git. Basically, it's a social networking site for developers, as I call it. You can look at other people code, identify issues in the code, and even propose changes. That's totally fine. This also helps in improving your code, as I talked about. Or in lighter note, it's great place to show off your projects and get noticed by potential recruiters. So, as this COVID hit and everything got remote, the reliance on your efficiency and the negligence of what you have been done on your papers is great. So now you can get a job by showing your resume and showing your actual work, then getting a plus on your certificates. So that power of you know the democracy we have in the software world is given by GitHub. GitHub is majorly used by students, so we just want your GitHub repository. So when I was sitting for placements, they just asked, okay, what work you have done? Just give me your GitHub repo, I'll look at it. So I was like, okay, that's a thing, fine. So just GitHub is just like a profile, your software profile. So I can assess you, we can judge you, we can even hand over a job to you based on a GitHub repository. So GitHub is by far the most widely used open source platform for Git. Yeah, definitely. And owned by Microsoft. So another huge point. Okay, so next we'll have major Git concepts. So before this, I've talked about much. Okay, just in case, uh, if you want to have some questions. I'm not getting. Okay. Mm, okay. Okay. Just for the time being, I'm figuring out few of the settings in my Zoom. If you have any questions, please post it. I'm eager to let you know how you have been like getting it, or if you don't, if you don't get any of the thing, if you don't get few of the things, you can share. Anyone, if you can unmute yourself, if you have been given that thing. Okay. I can see. Hmm. Okay. So just in case you have any at any point of time, you can have issues, you can post here. Moving on to the other part. Okay. So okay. Okay. Thanks, Utkarsh. So if any question comes up, please let me know because I'm not able to see the questions here on Zoom. So I'll get back to that. Okay.
Yeah. So just a second, Vishal. I'll take a few questions which have been posted on YouTube Live. Right.
Yeah,
So
sure.
people are getting it. There are not a lot of questions till now. So just there's one more question which Abhijit has asked, like what is GitLab? So if you have any experience on what is GitLab, so you can just let everyone know about it.
Okay. GitLab is, see, there are many things. Okay. So GitLab is just another company. First of all, it's a company, it's a platform where it's automation platform where you can build your pipelines, you can deploy things. I can, if you can see GitLab, right? GitLab is just another company which you can, deploy your code bases, your pipeline. So if suppose you want that as soon as I go do a change here on my website, it reflects on the front end and the back end and users can see it. So GitLab is just that deployment. You can deploy things right away on your local machine and it is reflecting to the entire world on your production server. So GitLab is a kind of a CI/CD platform. GitLab has nothing much to do with GitHub or Git. GitLab is just another CI/CD platform which helps you run your deployments on all your servers. So as I said, suppose you deploy a change in your local machine, you want this to reflect immediately to all your production servers. So you will take a GitLab. GitLab has also many competitors, right? So GitLab for this use case, for this particular thing, GitLab is nowhere related to Git or GitHub. It's just a Git which comes common. So that's it. Uh, okay. Okay. Uh, I think we are good to go. Uh, 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 Let me share. Hmm. Okay. So, okay, fine. Let's start again from where we left. Mm, Okay. So, major Git command. So, till now, few things, just a recap of things if we have time in our
Just a
second round.
second, Vishal. Can you just
Yeah.
minimize it? Your mind photo and everything. Can you minimize so it will be better for everyone?
Okay. Is it good?
No. Anyways, continue. You can continue. No issues.
Okay. Okay. Oh, like you can help me out, Utkarsh. If things are not visible, it will not be clear to them.
Yeah, it is visible right now. You can just continue with the session.
Okay. Okay. So fine. So okay. So Git is a tool, as we have all mentioned. Few things to revise in our second session is Git, since it is a tool, it will have commands, it will have things to do. And GitHub as a platform is just implementing Git. So basically for Git, you'll write commands. So suppose I want, it's just like if you want to have water. So you'll go and get water by yourself, or you'll tell your mummy to get your water. So if you go and get your water by yourself, so it's Git, using you use Git to do everything on your own, so self dependent. And GitHub is like getting the help from your mom, so you just press a button, okay, do this, and GitHub on the back end runs that same command and does the job and show it to you. So in that relation, now major Git commands or concepts is Git init. Just remember the terms. If you are not aware of the terms, no issues, we'll go very slow, we'll cover the entire thing in the 3 day session, no issues. But if you are like well versed with Git commands, well versed with Git thing, no worries, you just have a revamp of things. So Git init, we have add, commit, pull, push. Again, stopping here, pull and push has a major impact, and very important and very significant concept. Very, you know even good developers have a very thin understanding of pull and push. So basically, because of the nature of the command, it is sometimes very confusing what you're pulling, what you're pushing. So I will emphasize to put more focus on pull and push commands during our session. So if you have any issues, just post them. But pull and push are very important concept. Then branch, fetch, merge, log. So basically, everything here is English word. So almost the meaning is very, very same. So you can say add. Add means to add something. So basically, it does the same thing. Commit means you're committing to someone. So you're committing that, yes, I'll do this work for you. I'm committing this to you. So you're committing the changes. Pull and push we'll discuss in very detail, because this is an important concept. Branch, your branch means just another thing of the same tree. Like suppose for a tree there's a branch, so apple branch, it's like the branch is of same apple tree, but it's going in a different direction. So that same concept is used here. Branch. Fetch means to look something, look for the code changes. Merge means two different things you're merging, you're bringing them together. So suppose this is hi buddy and this is how are you. If you merge both the files, you'll get hi buddy, how are you. So that is merge. Merge means you know bringing both the code bases together. So that is merging. Log means record or history. So show me the logs. You say show me the logs, so show me the history, how the code base has evolved over time. So this is log. So these concepts are very important. We'll cover it today, definitely. And these are major and very significant and important concepts to be learned. With this, you can start your journey to Git and GitHub. You can start your journey to version control. You are well versed with this. But if you want to go ahead, if you want to really grasp the thing, there are major things which you can say there's advanced things. Few of the advanced thing is merge conflict. Merge conflict is very crucial, like very crucial. Rebase, these are very advanced thing, but I will insist you to you know carry on with us and learn this. Rebase again is a very important thing. Stash is a very important, but Git is a advanced thing. Revert, as I said, you don't like the version 4, so you want to go back to version 3, or even you don't like version 3, so from version 4 you go back directly to version 2. So that is revert. So I don't want these things, I just want the previous version, so you just revert back. So that is revert. Cherry pick is a very beautiful concept. So we learned that in detail in, I guess, second day, so maybe the next scheduled date. For now, we'll use these git add, uh, add, commit, pull, push, branch, fetch, log, and by the time I okay, so these are all commands. Like, I'm not much fan of a PPT, so I've just made a like 6-7 slide PPT. That's it, I guess. This is the second last. We'll have the last slide this, and yeah. So I am more focused to learning by doing. So let's bring it up terminal. Okay. Mm, okay. Okay, I hope you are able to see my screen. If not, I'm maximizing it for you guys. Uh-oh. Okay. So let's suppose we make a folder day 1. Okay. So now you can see there are no files. Okay. You can see there are no files. Now we'll make a folder. Let's suppose Git. So we'll make a folder Git day 1. Fine. Now there are no files currently. Okay. No files at all. This is an empty folder with no files. Now the first command says git init. Init means to initialize something. Initialize means begin something. So how will the Git as a tool know that where am I, like what I am to do? How? So suppose you are making a project. So suppose we are starting a project Git day 1. So this will be the next Instagram of the world. So let's suppose we are starting it Git day 1. So how will Git know that, you know, this is the next Instagram? How will it get tagged? For that, we'll start with git init. Okay, fine. This is just, a warning from Git that using, so recently there was a controversy for master and main. So this is just with that, nothing much to do. So you should ignore this. And if you want, you can read it out using master and not main and all that. But the most important thing is initialized empty Git repository in this document, in this folder. Now, if I do list, so you see a Git folder, .git. This is, you can say the heart of GitHub. Sorry, Git. This is the heart of Git. Everything the Git tracks, or Git makes note. Okay, this is version 1, this is version 2, this is branch 1, this is branch 2, this is written in version 1, this is not written in version 3. Everything is tracked here in this Git folder, .git folder. It is generally hidden. So if you just do ls, you'll not be able to see it. But if you do ls -al, then only you'll be able to see it. Fine. Okay. For now, we have initialized an empty repository in Git. Sorry, we have initialized Git in an empty repository. So this is done. Git init is done. So by Git init, we initialize a repository to be tracked by Git. So I'm telling Git that this is my next project. I'm going to build the next Instagram. So keep a track of how changes are there in this Git. Okay. Now let's suppose Git add. What is Git add? Now, suppose I am making a file. So I'm making index.html and I'm writing, suppose I'm writing Instagram 2. Fine. Fine. Now, okay. Now if I see the contents, so we have Instagram 2. Okay. We have so what we have currently, we have index.html page in this Git day 1 folder. Fine. Now, if you do, like, just suppose you, no need to panic by these commands because I have not yet written these, but these are minor commands. If you do git status, just to know what is the status of Git, you will see untracked files. What is this untracked files? Now, untracked files means these files are there in this project, but is not yet tracked by Git. So suppose I'm Git, so I'm telling these files are there in the Git, but I am not tracking them. I'm yet not tracking them. How to do that? Now you'll say git add. So you'll say git add. So now you'll say, just as I say, git add. Now say git add index.html. So I'm instructing it that in your memory, in your system, just add this index file so that you can keep track of this. Now thing changes. If you run git status again, you know what? It'll say changes to be committed. New file index.html. Just see the color change. Here it was index.html in red. Here it's called new file index.html in green. Basically, that means here it was untracked. Git has no relation with this command. Do whatever you want. There will be no version control or there'll be no history of this. But now Git has started tracking it. So now it will say there's a new file that I am tracking is called index.html and that is in green. You know what? Next is the command commit. So, and here it says changes to be committed. It's not committed yet, to be committed. Fine. Now we'll see git commit. Now with commit, there's a thing called, when you are doing something, you should give a reason to it, right? Like if you want to go to school, like you want to, like I want to get knowledge, so I'm going to school. I want to pass the exam, so I'm studying. So you are telling Git to commit this index.html. Why? Why? Because like first file in my repo. So basically first file in my repository, and this -m flag is basically -m for message. So git commit and my message is -m. So git commit -m first file in my repository. So if I write fine, okay. 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 So since this is my fresh Git installation, for you to do this, you will have to face the same thing. So basically my Git is not configured yet. This is asking my name and my email. Basically, these are used nowhere. These are used nowhere, just for the reference that it will say who is making the change and what is his email ID. This is asking. So you can configure it. It's my bad. I have not configured it yet, but okay. Okay. Fine. So back to the thing. Git commit -m first file in my repository. I'll commit this and it's committed. Now see the message. First file in the repository, this was my message, and it says one file changed, one insertion, and create mode this. So basically Git is telling one file was changed, there was one insertion, and create mode this. Now if you run git status, it says on branch master, like we'll talk about branch later, but on the main branch, nothing to commit because you have made no changes. All the changes are committed. All you have done is saved. Now we are working on a clean tree. Fine. Till now, fine. So now, we have an index.page which says Instagram and it's now committed. So basically what we did, we initialized the repository, we made a change, we added and we committed a change. Fine. Pull and push. Okay, more on this later. Branch. See, here it says on branch master. The best thing about Git is you can visualize this as a tree. You can visualize Git as a tree. So just like a tree, it has a trunk, it has many branches, it has many leaves. So trunk is called the master branch, or previously, like 3 to 4 years back, it was called main branch. Okay, no, sorry, 3 to 4 years later, it was, yes, like previously it was called master branch. Now it's called main branch, whatever it is, master main branch. It is the trunk. The branches is the feature branches. We can say, like, we want to change the color, we want to change a feature, we want to add a feature, we want to delete a feature. So basically we are branching on and off from the main trunk, and then leaves are the changes so we are making. So basically we can visualize Git as a tree. Fetch. Okay, fetch, merge, log. Okay, log. What is log? Log, as I said, is a history. Show me the logs. Like, what is the log of this? So you can say git log, just that, and you can see all the history. So you can see author was Vishal, my email ID as we have entered this in git config, date this, time exactly this, and the message was first file in my repository. Okay, few important things I want to make. Since you are, or you might be working still, or you are going to work in next 1 or 2 years in the industry, I'll emphasize on this. Please be very, very precise and be very clear in your commit message. I have seen a lot of people, failing on this. Commit message is very important and should be to the point. It should not be a full page paragraph. It should not be two-liner, added a file, deleted a file. No, it should be a properly formatted comment that I have added this file. No, it's not like I have added this file because this was not working, so I have made the change. No, added index.html to fix the previous bug. That's all. That's complete. To the point, be precise. So this commit message is very important, and this will help you a lot in your professional career. Be very focused on this. So basically we have added init, add, commit, pull, push, branch, fetch, merge, log. Fine. Now we are left with pull, push, fetch, and merge. Now, okay, so I think we are 9. Okay, no issues. Now we'll dive something into the concept of pull and push. Okay, now just understand. Here comes GitHub. Okay, GitHub is a platform. Underlying principle is Git. We have discussed it 10 times, just 11th again. Now understand, repository is nothing but a folder. Fine. So we have a repository. We have this workspace. Workspace is my laptop. Okay, so basically workspace is my laptop. Repository, we have GitHub, and remote. Remote is, somewhere in the cloud, my folder is there. So suppose GitHub. In GitHub, I have made a repository. This repository I have made in GitHub. I have cloned the repository in, okay, that is going beyond. Okay, fine. So basically, pull and push, just understand in this way. You have 10 people working on a code base, and the code base is kept in the cloud. Okay. Now, we have 10 people working. The code base is there. Now, just here, the thing to understand is just 2 people. You here sitting, and the code up above in the cloud. That's it. That's the only 2 things you need to understand. Now, what you need to do is pull. I guess it is written. Yeah. Pull is basically pulling the code. So in every pull and push command, focus yourself as the first person. Focus yourself as the first person. So when I'm pulling something, I am pulling. So basically I'm pulling the code. So I'm pulling the code from the cloud to my local machine. So when I write git pull, I am pulling the code from the cloud. Fine. Same way, pushing. If you see the word here, I can change the color. If you see the here, push and then pull. Pull we have discussed. Pull means I am pulling the code. It's not visible or what? I am pulling the code. So here it is. I am pulling the code from cloud. Now this push, I am pushing. When I write git push, I am pushing my code. I am pushing my code to the cloud. If you have difficulty, just for the first few days, for the first initial days when you're starting with Git, just learn to, say these lines again and again. When I'm pulling, I am pulling the code from cloud. When I am pushing, I am pushing the code to the cloud. So I am pulling the code and I am pushing the code. That's it. That's the only 2 line you need to understand for the pull and push mechanism. Even I took like a week to exactly learn how on what thing pull and push works. So pulling means pulling the changes, pulling the code, and push means to you have done the changes. Now you are pushing, you are contributing your code to the cloud. That's it. For I guess, yeah. I hope you have understood. I'll definitely do a recap, just 5 or 10 minute recap in the next session, because these push and pull are very important and major concepts. Pull and push. Branch we have already studied. Branch is, just imagine, so basically this is the main branch. Suppose all the people here and we even I together are starting a company. So suppose uh, we are starting a company, so Instagram too. So basically I have said that this is my code base. Now person one will say that I'll add the home page. So he will say the I'll add the home page. So basically this is the home page. Fine. Now second, another person will say, no, I'll add the reels page. So this will be reels page. Sorry for my bad handwriting. So home page is done, reels page is done. Suppose another person will say, no, I will add the accounts page. Okay, fine. So you take this and you will write the account page. So this is the account page. So understand, this is called branching. So this is the main trunk. This is the main trunk. This is the main trunk. And we are branching for each and every feature. We want home page, we want reel page, we want account page. So we are branching off the main trunk. And then after doing this, we'll come back to this. So home page, after the home page changes are done, we'll push back the changes to the main branch. After the reels page is done, we'll push back the changes to the reels branch. After the account page is done, we'll push back the changes to the main branch. So basically, this will be pulling, this will be pushing. Understood? You can carry it, you can learn how to say it for the first 3 to 4 days, then you will be master of it. So get init, get add, get push, pull, branch, fetch, merge. Now merge. Basically this. So basically this was my home page. This was my home page. This was my reel. Fine. I made the changes. Sorry, you made the changes and I maintained the home page. Sorry, I maintain the entire software. Now you will say that I have made the reels page. Please merge this. So this point of entry is called merging. This point of entry is called merging. This point of entry is called merging. So git merge means adding a change to the already existing code. Fine. Basically git merge is, we have one page here, you have added another page and we'll merge this. So that is particularly what is git merge. Init, add, pull, push, branch, fetch, merge, log. And logs, everything in a git will be maintained in a log. Everything in a maintained in log. Okay. Now we'll do few things. Okay. Let's do it. Suppose this. Now you want to, okay. Now you want to see, right? So we'll learn by doing. So I guess it's 9:04, just 10 minutes more. Okay. So git branch, it will say currently we on master branch. Okay, fine. Now we'll use git checkout -b. Suppose I make feature 1. So git checkout -b, I'll talk about these commands later, just learn the concept. Git checkout is basically to create a branch. Sorry, git checkout is to move to a branch, and -b creates a branch. So basically we have created a branch and moved to it. So two things at a time. We have created a branch and moved to it. So it says switched to a new branch, feature 1. Now the magic comes. Suppose I have added home page, home.html. Fine. Now I'll add git add home.html, git commit -m, added home page. Now, see again, Git messages are very important. It says one file change, zero insertion, zero deletion. Why zero insertion? Because we have not added anything to the home page. The home page is still empty. Home page has nothing. So it says zero insertion or zero deletion. We have just one file changed because one file is created. So now, if you see, there are two pages, index.html and home.html in feature one branch. But if you switch to master, it says switch to master branch. And if I do ls, you know what happens? It just has one page, index.html. Why? Let me show you why. Just understand this. Okay. This was the main. This is the master branch. Master branch was this. Now we have created one branch from here called feature one. So suppose, okay, let me change the color. We have created one branch. Suppose this is called feature one. Okay, we have created a change here. And previously, we had created a change here. So basically, this was index.html, suppose index, and this is home.html. Okay, so when you are at this point, suppose if you are at this point, you will see both this and this, right? But if you are at this point, you will only see the changes below this. So you will only see index and you will not see home, because home.html is an F1 branch, which is still away from this main branch or master branch, right? Now, let's do a thing. Let's delete this. Now, git merge feature one. So we are in master branch, we are merging feature branch. Now it says updating this fast forward home.html one file change. Now the same command ls, you know what happens? See, index.html, home.html. Now what we did is, carefully see this, we created this home page in F1 and we merged this here. So basically home.html got inline in this branch. Now when we are at this point, we'll see index also, we'll see home also. Got it? So basically that is merge fetch. Fetch we'll discuss. Okay, fetch we have missed. Now what is fetch? Fetch is generally seeking the changes, what changes are there. So merge is like bringing the files and merging it to the main branch, but fetch is just to see what changes are there. Don't merge, just see. So merge is a combination of two, git fetch and git merge. But merge in itself is a two thing, like just go pull the branch and just merge all the changes. I don't want to see what changes are there, just want all the changes to be there. So fetch is just one step, merge is two step. Okay, those are the major thing. I guess 9, 10 is there. Okay, I think I fell short of time. Okay, for the rest 10 minutes, maybe if we can have a chat session on things like this, on things we have discussed, so that things become more clear for you, or if you have any questions, or if someone from the Floxus can tell us what the question is. So yeah, I'm up for it.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Just requesting, I hope that was not way more complicated, because this is pretty much basics. At least these commands are pretty much basic. We'll dive into this somewhat later, but for now.
Yes. So, Vishal, there's one question from Raj Shekhar. He says that you're telling
Okay.
pulling the branch. Is main branch contained within source code, or main branch is empty at the beginning?
Okay. I do not get it, Raj Shekhar. Just can you tell me the question once again?
Yeah. So, Vishal, what you can do is open up YouTube on your
Okay.
laptop, and you'll get all the questions over there. Will be.
Oh, and that's perfect. Mm, mm, mm.
And even you can, if you want, you can stop sharing your screen as well. So it's fine.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's better. I can read the questions directly. So just give me a minute, guys. Mhm. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I got the. Okay. Hmm. You're you're telling pulling the main branch contains the source code. Okay. Yeah. Hello. Am I audible? Just confirm me once.
Yes, Vishal, you're audible.
Okay.
No worries.
Yeah. So I can see the question by Rajshekhar. He's telling you're telling pulling the branch is main branch contains the source code. Yeah, main branch contains the source code. So when you are working on the main branch, whatever you are committing, whatever code changes you are doing, and after you commit, all the source code is there. When you're branching off, when you're creating a new branch, all the changes in the previous branch goes with the new branch. I hope I'm getting it. All the changes from the main branch will get into the new branch. So I do not have the diagram, but yeah, I hope that is clear. Whenever you branch off, all the changes which you had, which comes along with it. And whenever you merge, all the changes you do in the feature branch comes to the main branch to the point where you have merged. Okay. Okay. Or the main branch is empty at the beginning. Okay. At the beginning. Yeah. At the beginning, everything is empty. As I showed you, in the beginning, you remember it was written initialized git at the empty repository. So it was empty. We did not have anything. We just created index.html. So yeah, exactly. The main branch was empty. Yeah. Can you please let me know when we Mhm. Can you please let me know when we use push request? There's no push request. Okay. You are kind of referring to something pull request, but there's nothing push request. Okay. So pull request, what a pull request is, suppose there are three people working. Okay. Oh, let's suppose there are two people working. I'm working on Instagram part 2. You are doing a change on the reels page, suppose. So you have added a, so basically right now what Instagram has done, it has increased the time for reels from 30 seconds to 60 seconds, right? Now, suppose you were the one implementing the change. So what you told me is, hey, listen, I have increased the time duration from 30 seconds to 60 seconds in my code base. I said, okay, that's good. That's good. Now you'll say, just I'm giving you a PR, that is pull request. I'm sending you a PR, review and merge it. So I'll review the PR. PR means there's a pull request for me. There's not a pull request for you. So when you are filing a pull request or when you are sending a pull request, you are actually sending a pull request to your boss or to the main branch. So I, maintaining the main branch, have the complete power, or it's me who is pulling the changes or not pulling the changes. Suppose you by mistake have increased the time duration from 30 seconds to 300 seconds. So during your code review, I said, oh, hey, listen, you have made a change which has increased the time from 30 seconds to 300 seconds. So I reject your PR, pull request. I have rejected your PR. You have filed a PR to me. So I have the complete authority to reject or accept the change. Now, second time, you made the changes from 30 seconds to 60 seconds and then again file a PR. And then I see, okay, now the change is good. So I accept the pull request and I merge the code. So that way. There's no push request for that sense. Difference between push and merge. Okay. So basically, two things, Git and GitHub. Few commands are exclusively for Git. Few commands are in a wider context, including GitHub. Merge is a Git command. Okay. Push involves GitHub. Fine. So when you merge, you have no relation with GitHub. Merge is a complete Git command. You can merge locally, you can do things locally, you can fetch locally something. Okay, fine. But push is a GitHub related command. When you push, you are pushing to something. You may push to Bitbucket, you may push to GitHub, you may push to any other platform. So push is GitHub dependent or Bitbucket dependent or the platform dependent, but merge is totally, Git. You can merge branches, you can revert changes. These are all Git specific commands, but push is platform dependent. So you're pushing to Bitbucket, you're pushing to GitHub, right? Is the main branch contains some sort of source code? No. It totally depends on you. You might have a software where the main branch does not have anything, only the feature branch has it. But technically your feasibility of that project is zero, because main branch, the purpose of main branch is to have error free and bug free code, so that whenever there's a problem, you can look onto the main branch. That's it. So there can be a case where main branch has zero changes, but all the feature branch has changes, but significantly that is useless. So okay, thank you. Okay, yeah. I can see my voice was low. Sorry, I did not get, but yeah, okay, fine. Okay, fine. I think, hey Utkarsh, I think we are good to go. If you have any questions, like we have 3 to 4 minutes, we can carry over that. I'll be very excited if you ask. Like, it was very important question. What is the difference between push and merge, from Ratan Kumar? So I really appreciate that question. Was very technical and it was good. There are few commands specific to Git. There are few commands which involve the platform, not only GitHub. That can be anything. So that was a beautiful question. Can we get this PPT after the session? Okay, fine. Devendra, I can post somewhere in the link, or I can give the access to Floxus. You can share.
You can share it to me, Vishal. I'll get it.
Yeah, definitely. You can get it. Yeah. Okay. Okay, fine.
Yes, I think most of the questions have now been covered, right?
Yeah.
So I think we have almost come to the end of the session. Thank you so much, Vishal. It was really amazing. Personally, I am pretty sure that people who stayed throughout must have learned a lot of things through it. And Rajshrika, the timings will be around 8 daily, and every day for next 30 to 40 days we'll be having session on some of the other topic. Today's supposed to is GitHub. Tomorrow we are having a session on Node.js, and other than that the next session is on machine learning. So these 30 days we are trying to cover as much topic as we can, and people who will stay with us throughout are definitely going to have an amazing portfolio with them. And I'm also sharing the LinkedIn ID of Vishal. You can connect with him, you can check out his profile and see what things he has done. And even I'm sharing my own LinkedIn profile in case anyone has any queries, any suggestions. You can actually reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm very active over there, and I try to respond to as many messages as I can. So yes, and don't forget to follow Floxus on Instagram, because we are creating a lot of content there, and it is going to help you guys a lot. So okay, all right then. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you, Vishal, again. It was amazing to have you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to you guys joining me on the second session, because then we'll have a more deep dive and technical discussions there. So hope to see you there, and thank you, Floxus. Yeah.
Yes. And to know more about the
Okay.
upcoming sessions that we are organizing, you can visit Floxus website and specifically our events page. Yes. So I'll just share my
Okay.
yeah. So okay, Vishal. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And
Thank you. Thank you.
yes.
Bye-bye. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. So I'm closing the stream now. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and I hope you guys enjoyed this.